All right, lads, welcome back to me podcast, Cheaper Than Therapy. Mick Thomas here. How are you? How you doing? Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing, coming on back. If you haven't subscribed, why haven't you hit subscribe? Is there something wrong with your thumbs? Just hit it. Do it, right? Listen, come see me live. November 8th and 9th, I am in Mohegan Sun in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Cannot wait to get back to that room. One of my favorite rooms. I'm there on the Friday night and the Saturday night. That's the first. No, that's the 8th and the 9th, you idiot. And then this week, Long Island, your prayers have been answered. You got together in a prayer circle. When is Mick Thomas going to come back? He's coming back to McGuire's in Bohemia, Governor's Comedy Club, this Friday, this Saturday. Tickets are already selling out. So come see me. Come see me live. I would love to chat with you, talk to you after the show, take a picture or two. Don't get too close, but you know what I mean. Come on down. I'm excited to see you. Really would. Also, I'm in the city. Everywhere you go, if you're in New York City, if you're coming over from another country, and you know, what are those things we do? We go to the M&M store, right? Let's go to Times Square. Come see Mick Thomas. Part of the experience. I'm at the comic strip twice this week. I'm at the Comedy Cellar, Stand Up New York. I'm all around the gaff, all over the gaff. Come see me live. So, it was a crazy week. I just hit record. I didn't even have anything planned. I did nothing. I didn't know if my audio was working. I was like halfway through an episode and my fucking dog started to bark. Like, went crazy to the point where like I had to stop the show. And I'm not talented enough, technologically wise, to go back and just fucking edit and continue going. Because I have a flow. I start talking. I don't plan on what I'm going to say. And the fucking dog ruined it. So now I'm going from scratch again. Now I got to pick different topics to talk about. Because it's disingenuous. Disingenuous. Doesn't matter. It's not the same. So now I got to talk about different things. I went to a wedding this week, last Sunday. Greek wedding. And I hate weddings. All of you know who know Mick Thomas know he hates a wedding. Can't stand weddings. Why do I not like weddings? Because they take up my fucking day. They take up my whole day to be surrounded by people I don't know. And they're all the same. They're all the same. It's not, no, this one's going to be different. No, it ain't. They're all the same. This one was my first time, so I was a little bit intrigued. Went to a Greek wedding. Never been to a Greek wedding before. Greeks, what's going on? What's going on? Lovely people, the Greeks, but you're disgusting people, right? In relation, like, why is there heads? Why do you eat animals' heads served at the table? Like that I'm not kidding. Heads arrived at the table, and you got to take the fuck. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a goat. I don't know if it was a sheep, a horse, a Great Dane. I don't know what fucking animal it was. Just skinned, and it had eyes. Like the eyes were still in it. And there was a Greek uncle. Give me the eye, and he takes the fucking thing with a fork. Greeks. And then you go up there, right, and you do the, it's, and the women are hairy, right? Like, not as hairy as the Italians, but a few hairy women. But, all the same, but also you're good looking. So I'm very confused, right? There's an exotic, oily look to you, you know what I mean? Like Mediterranean look. But yet when you get up close, you got like a lot of this. But whatever, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, as they say. So I go up and I'm watching the thing. I'm watching the listening to the DJ, and the DJ was fucking terrible, by the way. Just, here's what they would do. I think he had a playlist that he had to get through, because it was on a Sunday. 6 o'clock on a Sunday. What wanker has a wedding on a Sunday at 6 o'clock? Taking up my fucking day, my Sunday of all days. And I gotta give it up. I gotta give it up now for a couple I don't even know, because I was dragged to the fucking thing. Dragged to it, right? I'll be honest with you, I sat in the corner I just sat on my phone playing Clash of Clans because I didn't know anybody. I don't dance. I did fucking dancing. DJ comes out, right? Worst DJ ever. So it's cheaper to have listen, we all gotta save a penny here and there, and they call up, the DJ's like, he must have a playlist, and he plays 30 seconds of every song, and then he changes it. You know what I wanted to do? I was waiting for that one Greek tradition where they smash plates on the ground. Just, I don't know what that's about. I don't know why the fuck you don't like cutlery. Greeks, I don't know where that came from. You're ancient, like, I don't know what you're known for a few things, right? You're known for great things. Mathematics. Your Greek mythology. Great entertaining stories of your Greek mythology. Anal, I believe, is one of yours, right? Anal is one of yours, I think. I lived in Greece for a bit. I lived in Kos, Kos. I spent many weeks there. You know, never once. I never met anyone. You know, up the right. I never met anyone that wanted to do that. But I used to go for fisticuffs, not fisting cuffs. Fisticuff fighting. I was fighting. Get your mind out of the gutter, people. And yeah. And that's, you know, and that's what I thought Greeks were known for at this wedding. I thought it'd be like, all right, there'd be a lot of that. And I thought the plate smashing was one. I was looking forward to it. I was like, can I bring my own plates? To be honest with you, I live with a fucking hoarders. I live with hoarders who keep way too many plates, way too many mugs. 4 of us in this house and we've 42 mugs. Fucking you tell me why we need that. So anyway, I thought the DJ kept changing the song every 30 seconds. I wanted to fucking take a plate and just fucking huff it at his head. That would have been great, right? Bang, opa, or whatever you guys say. Whatever you guys say. And then the DJ comes out and he goes, okay, now we're going to do a traditional Greek dance. And if you don't know it, don't worry about it. We'll teach you the moves. And the song comes on and the song is... And that's on a loop. Right? Like, oh, you know, it's one of those songs like, oh, that's going to get fucking stuck in my head. I'm riding my motorcycle. Everything I do, no matter what I was doing, that song was stuck in my head. Doing the dishes, having a wank. It's just there. The song is playing in your ear constantly. And then they come out and it's like, oh, this is going to be a weird dance. Right? I grew up in Ireland. I can't do Irish dancing. Irish step dancing is the call over here. Some of you other people just go river dance. River dance is a company. That's something you don't know. People think, oh, he's doing a river dance. River dance is a company who did Irish step dancing. So you know, every time you Irish dance, it's not like when you get on a jet ski. People think, oh, I was on a jet ski. Not all, they're called wave runners. Not all wave runners are jet skis. Jet ski is a company. Like, oh, I want to get into a jacuzzi. Right? I want to get into a jacuzzi. They're called hot tubs. Jacuzzi is the company. You're learning. You always learn on this podcast. So, same thing, right? Same thing. What was I fucking talking about? Anyway, so they come out and they go, we're going to do this dance, right? And they get into this thing and they go, hey, follow the line. Oh, I was talking about Irish dancing. How ours is complicated. So I was expecting something to be that complicated, that intense, that involved in the movement. And all it was just basically a Congo line, except they were turned sideways. That's what it was, right? You know the Congo line? You get feeling hot, hot, hot. And everyone's walking, someone's grabbed the hips of the other. Feeling hot, hot, hot. And they go in a circle. That's all it was, except they did it sideways. You go, all right, turn to your right to someone there. All right, turn to someone left. Now, of course I didn't get up. I just sat there watching. And then they flick dollar bills at you, at the bride, right? Dollar bills. Like she's a fucking overdressed stripper. Like, are she ever going to take this fucking thing off? The size of that white dress. Come on, how many more dollars does it need for you to show a shoulder, love? Let alone a tit. Right, what is going on? So, but that's got to be a Greek-American thing, right? That can't be a thing in Greece, because in Greece now, which is part of Europe, which is part of the EU, they use the euro. They don't have a euro coin. They have a euro coin, not a dollar note. Is that, you can't do that in Greece? And you fucking start huffing coins at them. You would knock them, you would cut skin off them. Ow, right? Just coins in the fucking head. So if you're on there, if you're Greek or you've been to a Greek wedding, you know Greeks, let me know, right? Tzatziki sauce, they love that. Greeks love tzatziki sauce, don't they? Put it in the comments, let me know. Is that a Greek-American thing, or is that a whole thing from Greece? It was very weird. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think the couple are going to make it. I just looked at them. I have a good sense for that kind of thing. You know, if people are bad, if your dog is going to bite me, if a couple is going to make it. I have a sixth sense for certain things like that. But that was it. That was my last weekend. This weekend, I was up in Villa Roma, up in upstate New York. You should go up there. It's so great. It's just like all Italian people. Just all Italians being Italians. Retired cops. Right, they're just mad at the world, right? They go up there and it's always a fun show, man. Fun show. But I was driving up and I stopped off at a rest stop. Those new apple green things. You know that if you travel around the country. So they're taking over the whole country, these apple greens. They're basically a rest stop. They have a gas station attached to them. You go in, buy your sweets, your chocolate, your Red Bull. I do a lot of time on the road. And then I got Dunkin' Donuts over here. Panda Express. Burger King. Bit of variety. And then right in the middle of it, a fucking Chick-fil-A. Now, nothing can compete with Chick-fil-A anymore. Nothing. That everyone walking out of that place, Chick-fil-A bags, the line for Chick-fil-A is wrapped around the corner. The people from Burger King are just behind the counter looking at each other, worried that they may lose their job because they have mortgages to pay, because everybody's at the Chick-fil-A line. Even the people in the store. Want a bottle of water? I'd love one, but you know what? They're going to sell milkshakes at Chick-fil-A. I don't want anything to drink. I'll just drink the Chick-fil-A sauce. Chick-fil-A's dominating everything. Is that what it's going to take? Is that what's going to take over the country? Chick-fil-A everywhere? Oh, and of course, what did I do? I had Chick-fil-A. I had a bit of Chick-fil-A. Now, here's what happened. I woke up, there was cop cars. Police activity. Police on the scene, if you know what I mean. So I go in, and here's what happened. I went upstairs, and the cops were upstairs talking. And they had two guys down there yelling, and more cops had two guys over there yelling, and another guy, I had a woman screaming. Now my intuition kicked in, my spidey sense was, I wonder what she started. Turns out she didn't. She was just the loudest one. She wasn't even involved. But anyway, here's what happened. Here's this. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be laughing at this. I don't know. So here's what happened at the Sir Apple Green thing. Upstairs there's a bathroom. So I'm a dad. Right, I'm a dad, I have a girl, I have a little one, but I remember she was tiny, and if I was ever out at the mall or something, and I had to go to the bathroom, right, take a piss, take a shit, whatever it was, I couldn't, you know, or if my daughter had to go to the bathroom, I couldn't just send her, off you go into the girls, and I'll go into the boys, and we'll see if I ever see you again. So I have to take this little thing with me into the man's section, because I'm a man, right, so I take her in, and you kind of cover her head because you don't want her to see dicks. You know, eventually in life she's going to see dicks. You can't stop that. You can't. It's inevitable. It's like the tide of dicks. If you have a daughter, she's just going to see dicks. And that, I'm sorry. And if there's a new dad listening, if there's old dads who are in denial, if there's a new dad here going, well, I'm going to teach my daughter different. If somebody is not, he's engaged yet, or he's married and they haven't had kids yet, and you can't wait to have a girl. She's going to see dicks. Whether you can't stop it. There's just just dicks are going to come out. Like, you can't stop the tide. You can't stop the dicks. So you try shield them from the dicks for as long as you can, right? You're that's what a dad is. A dad is a dick shield. Basically, is what he is, right? You got your shield up, and it's just like blocking dicks. And your daughter's here, and the dicks are ping pong ping, ping pang, ping pang pang, thump. Oh, that was a big one, right? You're just blocking dicks. Go away from your daughter. That's what you're doing. And so I guess from what I'd heard from the arguing is that some guy brought his daughter in. By the hand, he walked her in, didn't pick her up and shield her head in it. That's what you do. You shield the head in here. And you kick a stall door open, you go in, you do your business. Because your daughter's definitely seen your dick before. Your daughter, like it or not, and no man's going to admit this, but most men, their daughters have seen their dicks before. And there's an age, I don't know what the age is, where you go, all right, no more now of her seeing my dick. But you bring her into the stall, you do your business. Hey, honey, do you want to go? Yeah, I got to go too. They do their business, you zip them up, you wipe, and you put the head in, and you just run through like she's a football, and it's the last second of the Super Bowl, and they're trying to tackle you, and you run with the baby in your arms so she doesn't see any dicks. Now, I guess what happened is this guy walked in holding his little girl by the hand, and a bunch of guys turned. Again, I'm only hearing this third hand, fourth hand, definitely not second hand, not first hand. And I guess the baby saw too many dicks too quickly in life, right? So she's already been exposed to 100% too many dicks, right? You know, I believe if a sister sees her brothers like that, and then the dads, that's 2% of dicks that they shouldn't have seen already. But they've seen 2% of dicks already before they're 5. This girl, I guess, saw like about 90% just flopping in front of her. And the dad lost his mind, apparently started yelling at these guys, and they were just fucking, hey, listen, you brought her into the dicks. We didn't bring the dicks to her. I'm saying dicks too much. I just realized that. But nevertheless, John, that is what happened. So I'm watching this whole thing unfold, right? And yeah, I was like, I want to go. And I was nervous. I went into the bathroom. I was really nervous. I was going to go pee in the urinal. But I didn't. I went into the stall and said, locked the door up, and just made sure there was no cameras, nobody's looking through. you know, making sure the glory hole wasn't going to be used while I was there. And I got my Chick-fil-A. And I ate it there. I didn't take it in the car. I don't like eating in the car. I just, you know, I just don't enjoy it. And I sat there and I watched, you know, the cops argue with these people. Beautiful mountains, God's creation in front of you, right? Chick-fil-A, another Christian company. I was enjoying the love over this way. Turned that way. Turned my head over my shoulder. Little girl seeing dicks. So that was my journey on the way up. And I listened to Joe Rogan, the Donald Trump interview. I don't know if you heard that. I ain't gonna go into politics, but here's what I took from this, right? I kind of had an aha moment. Listen to it. Because you know when Trump talks, right? Everything is the greatest. Everything is the best. Everything is the greatest thing you've ever seen. They keep telling me this. I'm the best. No one's ever done this better than me. I started to listen to him on Rogan, and I think it's a nervous twitch, right? I think it's a nervous thing where some people will go at the end of a sentence, they'll go, while they're thinking of, or they'll go like. You know, there's some people go like. So I went over here like, and that word is that beat where you're trying to think of what next to say. And we all do it. We've all done it. I try not to do it. I catch myself doing it on stage. Sometimes I'll say, right. I'll go, right, in the middle of something. And I've caught myself because I listened to my sets back. And so I think Donald Trump's thing is about how amazing it is. You know, I had a cup of coffee, and the next line would have been, we were waiting on the car, so the car finally came and then we left. So instead of him saying, I had a cup of coffee while I was waiting on the car, and then we got in the car and we finally left, he would say like, oh, I had a cup of coffee, the best cup of coffee you've ever had. They don't make coffee like this anymore. And I think that's what he does now. Because through the whole interview, listen to the whole, it's not even an interview, it's a conversation. I like to look at it as not an interview. The whole conversation with Joe, it's just every time Donnie said something, it was the best. Like, he talks about flying into Afghanistan on Air Force One, and he goes, I have to sit up front with the pilots. I like hanging with the pilots. He goes, and I'm with these pilots, and they're the best pilots you've ever seen, Joe. They're so his words, not mine. And they're so handsome. They're so good looking, perfect human beings. I'm like, are they giving you a ride to Afghanistan as your pilots, or are you jerking them off as you fly? It's a bit graphic, this episode. Sorry if you're easily offended, but he's like, they're the best looking pilots ever, Joe. The best. Oh, you should see them. They're better looking than Tom Cruise and taller as well. Which I love that. But I think that's what it is. I really kind of like, and it was nice to hear that. And that's the importance of long interviews, long conversations. You get to kind of really see what a person is like, as opposed to, and I talked about this on the debate. All right, Mr. Trump, let's talk about this Israel versus Gaza. That's been going on since the Bible. David talked about this in the Bible. And how are you going to fix this? And you got 2 minutes to explain yourself, right? You can't do it. You can't explain a biblical answer for a biblical problem in 2 fucking minutes, because there's a book with 77 books condensed talking about it. But anyway, I digress. So, and I think it was nice to listen, nice conversation. And he did say on there, Joe Rogan did say that he did reach out to Kamala Harris. And same thing. And I would love to see her. I would love to see her go on there. Just to see, because it's nice when you look at people who are, just who are humans. Just to see what they're like. You know, he explained his policies pretty well. He stopped for a little bit, started talking about fighting, which I love. He started talking about boxing for a little bit. I love that. Big fan of that. And then he went back to his politics and he explained himself pretty well. And whenever he went off topic, I think Joe did a great job of bringing him back. There wasn't as much rambling, right? There wasn't as much rambling. And overall it was good. I just love that he loves everything. You know, everything is the greatest thing ever. You know, I would love him to come to one of my shows and then someone ask him, because I don't think he could think, you know, it could either backfire to go, you went to Mick Thomas' show, what do you think? And he could say, it was either the worst thing I've ever seen, or he could say it's the best show I've ever seen, soundbite, post it, viral, star, millions of dollars. And that's how it works. But go listen to it yourself, as we're only days away from the election. So for those of you who hadn't made your mind up yet, like, I'm not voting I'm not voting for her. I'm voting against him. I suggest you go listen to it. Maybe that might change your mind about him. And if Kamala Harris does it, and if it's the same type of format, maybe you might go back and go, fuck it, I think I'll vote for this psychopath too. Right? You don't know. I give it a listen. That's all I'll say to you. Give it a listen, and you never know. You never know what it could change your mind. And you're probably not an open-minded person. Maybe if you're just a miserable fucker, then don't listen to it all, or listen to it but hatefully, like hate listen to it. You know what I mean? You're like, every time you listen to it, every time he says something, you're just going to be screaming at your dashboard or at your treadmill or whatever, wherever you consume your podcast from. Like this one, wherever you get your podcast from. So anyway, listen, I have to go. My battery's going to die. But thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming on back. I do appreciate it. I'll see you next time. And as always, wash your hands, you dirty fuckers. Good luck to you. Good luck to you.